What's up? It's been a minute. I know. And I know you see the title. So before we even get started on this is a message to the AEW sickos, okay? I enjoy AEW, okay? I wouldn't have never made a bunch of daggone videos on the damn game if I didn't, okay? But I am allowed to give criticisms, okay? Ain't no wrestling promotion in this world is perfect right now. And hell, even as good of a run as WWE is on right now, it's not perfect. It's not. So if you're one of the sickos that can't handle criticisms given to AEW, please, I beg and implore, leave the video, close the tab, do whatever you gotta do, because I ain't trying to hear it here, I ain't trying to hear it on Twitter, I'm not trying to hear it anywhere, okay? I am glad AEW exists as a company and as a brand, alright? But you are tone deaf if you believe that there's nothing wrong with this company right now. In 2024, you're tone deaf if you really think that there's nothing wrong with this company. Now, we're going to talk about the positives first before I get to the negatives of what's going on with AEW, okay? I'm doing this like my after playing review format because I felt like this was easier to do. So, let's just get into it. I am RexBebop. Roll the intro, and let's get to the positives. RexBebop. Okay, positive number one, I have to give it to Swerve Strickland. I absolutely love what Swerve Strickland has done with every opportunity he's been given. The man's a perfect example of getting the ball and running with it. His chase to getting the AEW championship and finally becoming champion, even when losing the title, the man is now a certified star. And his rise toward it has nothing to sneeze at either. I argue he is the last great champion that we had before he lost it to Bryan. I said it, and this is something that's going to repeat later on. Bryan only had two defenses, Jack the Douche Perry and then losing it to Moxley. But back to Swerve. He and Prince Nana are always entertaining and genuinely one of the great things about AEW as a whole to me. Honestly, whenever Swerve actually competes, or whatever having to do with Swerve, absolutely loving them when the man's on screen, and when Prince Nana does his dance, I absolutely love what these two always bring to the table when they're on screen, so always a highlight for me. Alright, positive number two. Honestly, it's going to be the Hurt Syndicate. Now, when they first got here, I'm like, oh boy, I wonder how this is going to go. And so far, they've worked. They've absolutely worked. MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley are pretty much probably one of the best stables on the entire roster. The other one I'll get to soon. They're better Death Riders than the Death Riders themselves. I've said it. This is something else. And I'm like, oh, they're actually doing the Death Riders thing so much better than the actual Death Riders. Again, I will bring this up later. Shelton is consistently putting on banger matches every time he's in the ring, and we all know Bobby can destroy damn near anyone with ease, and MVP is always great on the mic. Honestly, crown his faction already. Because shit, Tony, it's not like we don't have enough belts that we can't do it, so go ahead. But I know we're in the Continental Classic right now, so it's not going to happen anytime soon, but this is definitely one of the factions that needs to get crowned with belts already. And I'm not talking about the fucking Trios belts, because at this point, the Trios belts don't mean shit. So, give Shelton a strap, give Bobby a strap. MVP don't need one, but you know what I'm trying to say. I fucking love the Hurt Syndicate. I do. Okay, positive number three. And this is probably going to surprise some of y'all, but they might not. Hangman Adam Page. And since Page's descent into madness thanks to Swerve, I feel like he's become more of a compelling character because of the arc that he's had with him. Now that Page has gone through murking Swerve in their last encounter, hopefully for now and back in All Out in the cage, Page unfortunately has been going back and forth randomly with Jay White, who is another wrestler that I actually like on the roster, who he's lost to now twice. And now it feels like Hanger's just doing whatever and drifting back and forth to whatever Tony can think of. And he just feels kind of directionless right now. If anything, and I still stand on this to this day, Hanger should have been the one to dethrone Bryan, which then leads to a madman Hanger championship run, who will do anything to keep his championship and building towards this inevitable like rematch with Swerve for the title. But no, we didn't do that. We give it to fucking Moxley. Again, I will get to Mox. I'll get to Mox, man, but it's ooh. Heyman's a positive. I don't care. Like his whole Dark Cowboy thing, I absolutely love what he's done with it so far, but it just feels directionless as of right now. And now he's going to get into the mix with Mox, Cassidy, and Jay White for the championship. It looks like that's what they're building towards World's End, but I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like it's to be heading, which something that they should have fucking done to begin with in the first place, considering like how long Mox has been champion. But again, this has gone on for way too long. I just feel like Hangman definitely is a positive for me, regardless of what's happening right now. I feel like he should have been like crowned as champion, because again, Mox does not need the fucking championship. You could have gotten the same result of what they're doing now, but I will get to that. Okay. But Swerve pretty much like defeating the monster that he created, especially after the cage match that they had, would have made sense for the championship. You give Hangman another run, and he goes in a psycho-ass run as champion, but no, whatever. Let's get to the next positive. Next positive, gotta go with Christian. I mean, do I even need to explain why I picked him? Like, why I specifically put Christian here? Christian pretty much doing the best work of his career with the whole Patriarch thing with Nick Wayne, Mama Wayne, and now Kip Sabian, because Luchasaurus, aka Killswitch, is injured right now. And aside from his TNA run a few years back, Christian, every time to this day, when he's on screen, this dude is entertaining as shit. I don't care. Like, if the whole, like, but your father's dead thing is old to some people, I don't care. His roster's still good. He's just entertaining to me. Like, I absolutely, like, love everything that Christian, like, brings to the table with this run that he's on right now. And, he gets his sons to do the work and all that. One way distracts him, and he gets the last hits in and shit. But he is entertaining as shit. I love Christian. I love Christian and what he's been doing with this whole Patriarch run. I really do. And as far as like his contract that he can cash in, and I hope it's on Mox. I really, really fucking do. Again, we'll get there. I feel like he could be so much more entertaining with that championship on his shoulder than whatever the fuck Mox is doing, because that championship is in the daggone briefcase, and I'm not letting this go. This is gonna continue. I'm sorry. Like, the negatives just start to seep out as I go on, but it's just like, positives, keep it to a minimum right now. Okay, go on to the next positive. Fucking love Christian, dude. But your father's dead. I love that shit. Like, the compilations and all that, man. Like, oh, man. I love it. I love it. Next positive, I'm definitely gonna have to give it to the House of Black. Like, I genuinely feel like, aside from the Hertz Syndicate, the House of Black already have a best faction in this entire daggone roster. It isn't this big ass roster, definitely them. Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, Brody King, Julia Hart. I love all four of these people. I love them. Even Julia's descent into what she is now because of Malachi's missed years back into then joining the faction was great. Her transition to what she is now was was great. Only issue is that they've been trios champs, and Julia has been the TBS champion once. Malachi, Buddy, or Brody have yet to hold a singles championship between the three of them, which is insane to think about. It's like, how is that possible? How is that possible? It's a crime. It is an absolute crime, to be honest. Julia, out of this entire group, has been the only singles champion of this group, which is crazy. And it's also crazy that we have yet to get a Buddy Matthews versus Kenny Omega match. Again, how the fuck? What the fuck, man? I don't understand that shit. But seriously though, like, these guys need to be like something else at this point. Just trio champions is just ridiculous, because again, those Trios Championships not mean a damn thing. I mean, the Death Riders didn't even come out with their respectable titles anymore. Claudio didn't. Pac didn't. So it's like, again, if they don't care, why should I care? If they're 1/3 of the Trio Champions and they don't even come up with the strap, what is the point of these championships? If they don't care, why should I? Again, I'm going on another tangent, but I love House of Black. I love everything that they like bring to the table. Honestly, it really is shocking that none of them have been like singles champions except for Julia. So yeah, another positive for me. I always love everything that these guys do, and I can't wait to see what Julia brings back to the table when she finally comes back. Even though it's just kind of random that she's just targeting Jamie Hayter, but whatever. It's like, okay, let's Julia Hart back on the screen. All right, cool. Next positive, man. Oh my god. Timeless Toni Storm, man. Like, other than, oh my god, I'm gonna get to the other ladies when I get to them, but Timeless Toni, man, she set the standard for most of the year with her run as AEW Women's Champion. She probably is the best AEW Women's Champion that they've had, and I'm not over exaggerating when I say this. This is her best run of her entire career, with her going on Norma Desmond on everyone because of her losing the AEW Women's Championship the first time, and then her Descent into Madness. I love how the Descent into Madness characters always like get me. I love characters like that, and when she went to this route, I'm like, holy shit, this is great. The promos in black and white with the vignettes in black and white. The whole watch out for the shoe, the chin, tits, shoe bits, all that shit. She's just entertaining as hell, man. Like, I just can't, like, I can't gush about her enough, man. I even love the old even how extra she is into everything shit she does, even now. Even when she's not there, it's like, she's still extra as shit, even in interviews. And I love that shit. In her matches as well. It even shows like she just put so much into this Timeless gimmick, and this is her best work. I don't care what anyone says. This is. I love her rocker gimmick, but it's like this, when she did this, it's like, holy shit. She was an entertaining champion when she had a championship for the majority of 2024 before Mariah May dethroned her back in August at All In. Yes, it's been that long. She was champion for the majority of the year. So yeah, I'm giving this to her. Who, if I'm honest, and again, I've been honest this entire time, she is not close to what Toni has done with the championship at all. I feel like Mariah May has just like been just a placeholder for the championship, if I'm honest. Like, she's good, but it's just like, it's not Toni Storm. And honestly, again, Toni raised the bar with having that championship on her. And Mariah has not come close to what Toni's done. It feels like they have just like froze her with a championship until Toni comes back. That's what it feels like anyway, but whatever. Again, it's like, not Toni, man. It's not timeless, man. It's not a timeless run. I miss her, man. I do. Like, one of my favorite ladies of this entire roster, like by far. So yeah, let's get to the next one. Next positive, definitely gonna have to give it to Chris Statlander. Stat has always been like a favorite of mine since she's been here since the beginning of since 2019. Works as a face, and even her recent heel run with Stokely Hathaway, which was dropped after she beat Willow Nightingale. It was basically an excuse for why they broke up. Why they broke these two up is she was just with Stokely just to beat Willow's ass, which was like, that's it. Now that job's done, it's like, okay, it's like, whatever. I don't understand. Like, that's what I heard anyway. That's what I read, and I'm like, that is so stupid. It's not even explained on TV, but you have to go searching for that to figure that out. But seriously, great moveset, great work, great look. Honestly, I wish we got more miles out of her being a heel, because again, it's like she had something with the heel gimmick with Stokely, and Stokely being her mouthpiece and all that was just like really, really good. I feel like we did not get enough miles out of that. But whatever it is, her alien gimmick, to what she's got going now, to even her heel gimmick, Chris has always been a definite bright spot for me. I can't say enough good about her. So yeah, it sucks that she did not dethrone Mercedes though for the TBS Championship, because again, she's one of the only. Her and Willow have been the best TBS champions since that belt has been created for Jade when she was here. So yeah, there's that. And speaking of Willow, she's another positive. Definitely a future AEW Women's Champion, hands down. I will be real and say that she is probably the best pure babyface that they have in this company overall. It sucks that she had a god-awful transitional title reign with her TBS Championship run, just to have it drop to Mercedes Moné. I said it. Mercedes has done nothing with that championship since she's won it. I mean, Willow didn't even have it for 50 days before dropping it to Mercedes. So yeah, there's that. But positives on Willow: great in the ring, character, charisma. Even starting all the way back in AEW Dark to coming up in the ranks to where she is now, Willow is a definite bright spot. Always has been, always will be. I love her work. And how can you fucking hate Willow, man? I don't get how people hate Willow. I don't understand it. You don't like Joy. You don't like fucking Joy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, Willow's definitely always a bright spot for me. So yeah. Next positive: Darby Allin. Yeah, I like Darby. Just the insane shit that this man comes up with, or just hell agrees to do. The man's an absolute reckless lunatic, and it works his favor. That's his entire fucking character. He's like, oh, I want to jump off that shit. I want to jump off that highest daggone ladder and jump in the glass. The man's an absolute complete psychopath, and honestly, it works. He's a bump master. If you type in Darby Allin bump compilation, it's amazing to see that this man is even standing, wrestling, or even doing spots at all. It's insane. Like, when he hits a certain age, that shit's gonna catch up with him. And he already said, like, I don't expect to be wrestling for long anyway, so I'm just gonna do the most insane shit already. I'm already gonna do the most insane shit possible. I'd already planned not to be doing this till I'm like fucking 50, so whatever, like, kudos to him. But yeah, fucking insane, crazy man when it comes to Darby, man. Darby's always been a bright spot for me, personally. So yeah, even when he was like teaming with Sting, like him and Sting's partnership and all that, I loved it. Yeah, I can't say too much bad about Darby at all. I can, but that's later. Next positive, definitely Samoa Joe. Joe is just the best regardless of where he is. I love his work everywhere that he goes. Since I've watched this man in TNA, and even when he got signed to WWE, his NXT run, and then even his main roster run, where he just did not thrive as he should have before he just became Poncho Joe on commentary. Yeah, I said it. Even that, I can never hate on Joe. Everywhere he goes, like, I've always been a fan of him. Even his King of Television run, where he had both the ROH TV Championship and the TNT Championships, which I know it was last year, but hey, that run was good. I don't care. He had an over 100-day run as AEW World Champion too. I love Joe's work. I actually love Joe's work. Absolute highlight for me every time this man's on screen and whooping ass or cutting a promo. I absolutely love, like, Joe's work all around. I cannot wait till he actually gets done filming Twisted Metal, and I can't wait till he gets back. But for the love of God, keep him away from the Jericho Vortex, which I know is a cry on deaf ears, but because in story, Jericho's the one that took him out. But yeah, unfortunately, he's probably going to have to deal with Jericho when he comes back from being Sweet Tooth in Twisted Metal for season 2. So yeah, there's that, unfortunately. Yeah, so sad fucking days on that one. Probably my last positive, and it's probably going to be a shock to most of you, but Athena. Now I know. Athena is the ROH Women's Champion, or the Forever Champion. So y'all probably like, why the fuck is she a positive for you? I'll get to it. She's not on AEW TV. I understand that too. But Athena's run in ROH has been nothing to scoff at. She's the only champion where I really even bother with ROH at all. Doesn't matter who's world champion in ROH, who's even TV champion in ROH right now, because Joe isn't. I don't care. Doesn't matter who's over there. Honestly, I only give a shit about Athena. That's it. When it comes to ROH, her whole thing with Billy Starks and the whole Minion Overlord thing has been great, along with everything she does in the ring. Being the violent heel that she is. I love when she put a beat down on that one wrestler, and everyone was just like, "Is Athena doing too stiff? Is she doing too?" It's like, and then she kind of just used that and just became this ultimate heel. I love that. It's a damn crime that she's not on AEW TV. It's man, yeah, damn near every strap is featured on AEW TV. I don't understand this. Okay, every ROH belt gets a feature on this fucking network, and the only time where Athena is actually on AEW TV is for Battle of the Belts. It's when she's defending her championship on her little special Battle of the Belts. And it's been that way for a while, which I'm like, is the only way she's going to come back to AEW TV, which is a fucking crime. Because right now, Athena should be on her belt collector run, as far as I'm concerned. Having the ROH Women's Championship, the TBS Championship, and the AEW Women's Championships on her, because she's been stomping out every single challenger that comes her way. That's just me. Remember when Kenny Omega had almost every daggone wrestling championship on him when he was AEW World Champion? Yeah, that's what I want for Athena. Full stop. I'm being real. It's like, that's what I fucking want, because she deserves it. And honestly, it's a crime that she's not on AEW TV. She's probably outside of Tony, Athena takes the other crown in most ever entertaining women's wrestler on AEW for me personally. Outside of Tony, Athena is her. I said it. She's one of the best talents not to be featured on the main show. I love her stuff. And even all the way back to when she was Ember Moon back way once upon a time, it's almost damn near unrecognizable now with how she's been doing this. So yeah, that's just me. Her entire run so far with being the Forever Champion has been incredible. You gotta go watch her shit. Go watch her promos on the ROH. Only reason I give a shit about ROH. Put her on AEW TV, Tony. Only champion of ROH that you don't put on AEW TV, which is so stupid. That's 11 positives in total for me, which is not bad. And if you know my review format for the channel, this is probably the most positive I've ever been with something. But now for every positive, there are negatives to follow it. And these are things that genuinely annoy me to no end with this company. So let's roll with the negatives. Oh boy, the vitriol session now. Oh, the negatives. Okay, I've been positive. Okay, so this hasn't just been a complete rant fest. Okay, so now we're gonna get to it. Jon Moxley and the Death Rider story. It's in the same ballpark, so I'm including Mox in here since he is leading this faction. Now, as a Moxley fan, okay, this sucks to say, but the direction that the Death Rider story has been complete ass. Now, when it started, when Mox, Cardio, Pac attacked Bryan at All Out, I thought, oh shit, this is interesting. Let's see what happens. And then the speculation of Moxley and the Death Riders being guided by Shane McMahon of all fucking people was amping up because of a photo that the Bucks took with him at the airport, or whatever. I remember that, and everyone started speculating oh shit, is it Shane McMahon that he's listening to? I'm like, please God, no, let's not do this. Then at Wrestle Dream, where Mox beat Bryan, ending his career, and getting the world championship. It's just been them attacking mid-level threats and Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. It's fallen flat, okay? A complete takeover, quote unquote, of AEW is just Mox and Co jumping whoever for whatever reason. The biggest offense was how Mox was taking over the TBS Superstation, which is just him droning on about the same shit that we've heard already. He's been on about for weeks. It hasn't helped that if Darby is supposed to be the man at the throne, Mox, then he's getting L's from everybody. And this is coming from a Darby fan, no less. His crazy ass adrenaline junkie self can only get him so far. And when he's racking up L's left and right, same thing with Orange. Now he's bringing the fire that he should have brought from Jump Street after Bryan got destroyed. This man got beat at Full Gear and has had cleaning agent shoved all over his face after he lost back at Full Gear, thanks to them. Now all of a sudden, like, oh, he's posing as a cameraman, he's choked Moxley out, and now he's seeing that absolute fire that we should have gotten in their entire build-up. No, but he's giving them like the Orange Cassidy shit kicks and all that. It's just like he taped his fucking hands in his pockets and started beating his ass, man. It's like, what the fuck am I watching? What is this? This is supposed to, and I'm supposed to believe that Orange Cassidy's supposed to take the title from Mox. Okay, whatever. Mox as champion has not done shit for me either. The title is literally in a fucking briefcase held by Marina Shafir, who keeps getting her hits in whenever it comes up. Whatever comes their way, she'll hit him with the fucking briefcase and she'll get involved as she always does. And I'm like, okay. One time she got her fucking come up, it was when Willow finally came out, returned and jumped her. I'm like, hallelujah. Let's fucking go. Alright. Finally. But seriously, nothing to turn the AEW championship into like a hardcore title variant as to say like, yeah, fuck you and your title or whatever. I've said it before earlier and I'll say it again. Swerve should have never dropped it to Bryan, because when you think about it, Bryan unfortunately was a transitional champion at the end of the day. When his two defenses were Scapegoat Ass and Mox, what was the point? What was the point? Moxley did not need to win the championship. This is the big storyline on AEW right now, and it's fallen flat. I could care less about what Mox or the Death Riders are doing right now. And it's fucked up because I like these guys. It's like they haven't done shit. The Hurt Syndicate has been more of a fucking threat than these guys have. It's ridiculous. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What is this? Y'all just keep doing the same shit over and over and over. It's like, it hasn't meant anything. The takeover AEW really has not been a complete takeover. It hasn't. The only thing close to it was when the Elite did it, and they didn't do nothing with it. After what? After the flamethrower shit that Darby did, and after they, it's like, oh my god, they haven't done that shit. It's like, instead of it has not been a complete takeover. It hasn't. It's like Mox did not need to win the championship. Hanger should have dethroned Bryan, to be honest with you, or I don't know, it's just shit. Mox does not need the championship. He's just dragging the championship down. I don't understand. He does not need a championship if this is all we're doing. And the trio champions, and none of them are coming out with their own daggone championships either. So it's like, what the fuck are we doing? It's like, it's not a takeover. It sucks. It is what it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Fuck this Death Riders bullshit, man. It's not it. It's not. Oh, buddy. Oh, man. The next negative I have to say, definitely MJF and Adam Cole. This has been going on since last year. Cole gets into trying to save MJF, then MJF turns on MJF with the Undisputed Kingdom because Cole thought that MJF was going to betray him first. Then, as this has gone on, it's probably the most nonsensical fucking thing, aside from the Death Riders, that they have done since last World's End. It's really trying to make MJF the heel in this entire scenario, but in reality, it's still Adam Cole. MJF may have turned heel on Danny Garcia, but with this Cole story, he's still the face in this daggone thing. Cole and MJF should have had their match at Full Gear, and then they keep the fuck away from each other. You get them the hell away from each other. You build up something for either of them to build them back up, because they are floundering right now. You got MJF recorded vignettes when he's off shooting a fucking movie. So he's not even here to build this up. He's not even here he's not on TV. Well, he is. He's not in the ring building this shit up. He's not actually there to build this shit up. This should have ended ages ago. This is the nothing for either man to still be feuding with each other when the story makes no damn sense as is. And when people call it out, and then you have MJF on the recent Dynamite this week in a promo package saying, you have no proof that I was going to turn on you. And look at the butterfly effect you created. And he's absolutely fucking right. MJF is not the villain here. Cole is. And now we have this, O'Reilly wants to fight MJF because he injured Roddy. Okay. And then it was Roddy fighting MJF at the pay-per-view, which was just like, why? Did this match have to fucking happen? Why couldn't it be Cole? Why are we dragging this out still? Why? Why is MJF doing the same old shit that he's been doing for a while? Why did he have to turn heel? I don't understand this shit. Why is Cole the apparent babyface of this thing, or painted as? This is the weakest Cole has ever looked. All they do is the crowd does the whole boom shit and that's it. But other than that, over the course of a few weeks, this man's been cold. This is the worst Adam Cole's ever looked. MJF here is not even really here to sell this fucking feud at all. So that's another strike against it. Then you have them wanting to fight Max over this when he is completely in the right about all this. Adam is the bad guy, MJF is not. Can we move the fuck on and get them away from each other? At World's End, let this end. Get them away from each other. Tony, for the love of God, let this die. I think out of everything else that's going on right now, this is the most dumbest shit that's going on, still going on, and it's helped nobody. God. All right, next negative, Ricky Starks. And might as well add Ray Phoenix in here too, just for the sake of it, because they pretty much go hand in hand too. Why is Tony letting someone like Ricky Starks and even Ray Phoenix stay at home and get cold? Or rather, really Ricky. Phoenix has time tacked on to his contract because of his injuries, I know. But Ricky Starks is probably one of the best they have on the roster. And for whatever reason, this man has not wrestled on AEW since March of this year. Now, I don't care whether it's because he's on his way out to the WWE or that he's friends with Cody Rhodes. The fact that this man has even stated even he doesn't know on Chris Van Vliet's podcast as to why he's not even working is insanity. Ricky is far too good not to be used on TV. I don't care what your feelings are on him. He has the charisma. He has the moveset. He pretty much has everything. And yet he has not gotten work. He's not worked since March. That is insanity to me. If he has time tacked on into next year, which he does, it's like, use him. I also understand this. Would you rather him sit at home collecting a check, or would you rather him be jobbed out? I'd rather take the check, but also I'd rather pay out my fucking contract if I want to work that badly. I would try to be like, yo, I don't care what you got going on. We're going to talk about this. And since Tony does not like confrontation, no, that we would have to fucking discuss it, because this is crazy to me. Anyway, next negative, and oh my god. Okay, Chris Jericho. If there's ever a person that should hang it up for months or a year, it's Chris Jericho. Every time this man shows up, it's get off my TV worthy. Now, I ain't even gonna front. I like Jericho. Always liked his reinventions over the years. I ain't gonna front. Okay? I'm not. I like this. I like the Inner Circle thing. And even if it lessened over time, went on with the whole Jericho Appreciation Society, and now we have this learning tree bullshit. It's like, great. It was fine with the Inner Circle, but it's been on decline ever since. It's always like Jericho has another faction around him, and that's been kind of his whole shtick since the start of AEW. It's never been him by himself, and the Learning Tree is just another example of that. The high guys, the high or hey guys, and him dragging people down with him, especially if you're going up against him, no one fucking benefits. The man needs to go away for a year. The last person he dragged down was Hook. Hook is like, okay, he's kind of building himself back up, and when he won the FTW Championship, he turned it into the For the World Championship, and that whole fucking feud, I'm like, get this championship off him. Just delist it completely, because I never felt like the FTW Championship was really a real title anyway, or really an actual AEW championship anyway. I'm like, Taz needs to get this shit off of him. I don't get it all, get it away, get it away. And just good, then everything that Jericho touches or comes in contact with, it turns to shit, honestly. And now he has the ROH champion, the ROH women, the ROH World Championship. Got a thing on the brain. I genuinely think he needs to go away for a year. Okay, so because now he's dragged the World Championship of ROH down with him. Everyone thinks it's for getting ROH TV deal, which I have not heard anything else about. So I'm like, okay, this is just basically him just needing a championship around him. And I also see like Matt Cardona is going to be facing him for the championship soon. And I'm like, oh, I hope he fucking wins. But he's not going to, because, you know, he probably won't. So there's that. This man needs to go away, work with Fozzy, go on tour with Fozzy, work on his fucking podcast, do whatever you have to do, then eat up TV time to people. Then eat up people's TV time and give it to people who actually deserve it or need it. Okay? Jericho needs to fuck off with the Jericho Vortex and all that. Because being real, he's boring as fuck, and he's just awful. He's just fucking awful now, man. I cannot stand this man on my daggone TV screen. It's ridiculous how much of a decline Jericho has been on for a while. And this year has probably been the worst Jericho-wise. Go away, Chris. Go away. You're not cool anymore, and you have not been cool in a while. Simply put. Oh, man. It had to be him last. It had to. It just makes too much sense. Mr. Tony Khan himself, Mr. TK, the man of many hats. Now, look, he may be a great guy, and he may have a few victories under his belt since running AEW, but the biggest black guy, as well as the biggest victory for him, was getting CM Punk to work at AEW. Now, I know, both getting this man to come back after years of being away from wrestling, say what you want, but if it wasn't for AEW's existence, there would be no Punk coming back to wrestling, period. Think what you want, argue with the wall if you think otherwise. But it's his biggest blemish as well, because of how the Hangman promo, which set all this shit off, workers' rights. Yes, this will always be a black guy for Hangman for me, because looking back, it's like, oh shit. To the scrum blowout, to him blowing up at the scrum, to then brawl out, to then the real glass with Jack Perry, to which had Tony fearing for his life, to then airing the said CCTV footage which showed the scuffle of Jackal Perry, which was coincidentally the last time they drew big numbers, which didn't help them anyway. It just made them look extremely petty. It just paints Tony Khan in like the worst light when it comes to being a boss. Punk has said it himself, this is not a place of business. You're not a boss, okay? And since then, that's kind of stuck, because every time that there's like some kind of confrontation, Tony kind of avoids confrontation and gives it to someone else, and it's been like that. I don't know what else to say about that, but Tony's track record, it's like, yeah, he'd rather just have you sit at home than rather, you know, actually try to, like, communicate with people. Because, again, Ricky's going through the exact same thing. He's like, I haven't heard nothing. I don't know why I'm benched, and I haven't worked on anything since March. It's like, again, this is another example of that. Tony rather be your friend than actually have you as a fucking, like, than actually, work with you like that. If you're good in his good graces and all that, then he'll be like, oh, good. He'll let you suck up his money and all that. It's just like, if he was an actual boss, he would have squashed it. He would have pulled Punk and Hangman aside and be like, none of this shit. Don't do this shit no more. I don't care what your beef is with him. I don't care what y'all beef is with each other. Do not do this. Do not fucking do this. And after the scrum, or even during Punk's tirade, he should have muted Punk's mic and said like, no. Go to the fucking back. We're gonna talk about this later. Been an actual boss rather than an actual friend. Tony's track record sucks. And yeah, he's for the sickos and all that, but all he does is just book for himself. He books crazy ass dream matches for himself, and that's it. He has a few victories here and there with some storylines, like the Punk and MJF storyline, the Swerve and Hangman storyline. I'm not saying like he isn't good when the need calls for it, when it comes to like storylines, because again, he does have a few victories under his belt. I'm not saying Tony's completely stupid in this, but when it comes to actually like running this place and actually like realizing like, oh shit, this approach to how I'm doing it is not working, because you got Ricochet out here fucking acting like, oh, AEW wouldn't exist if it wasn't for me, but I haven't heard nothing, no repercussions from him. So we're just gonna have Ricochet with his ass thinking like he's the savior of AEW, which, correct me if I'm wrong, were you part of the EVPs that like started this shit? You weren't. So what the fuck are you on about, Ricochet? This man be yapping for no damn reason. People just be talking shit online or whatever nowadays. And again, no repercussions. He don't act like a daggone boss. It just acts like, oh shit, just go ahead, do whatever the fuck you want. Let's don't talk to me about it. So yeah, that's just how it comes across to me. But anyway, that's all the negatives I got. AEW as a company and as a brand, I feel like it's just okay for right now. It's like, regardless of my negatives, it's not unwatchable, but it's very, very noticeable how fucky it feels now. Compared to where we started in the first few years, it's not the same. It's not. I'm sorry. It ain't. But it is what it is. I still tune in every Wednesday. As far as Rampage and Collision goes, it's like, oh, you watch them. No, it's shit to do, man. Shit to do. I ain't trying to watch it. I swear, man. I swear. It's like any story progression. It's just like you gotta watch multiple shows for. It's like, but then again, it's like people watch SmackDown, Raw, and all that shit. So it's just like, okay, what's the argument there? But it's just like Collision doesn't interest me. The last time Collision actually interested me was surprisingly when Punk ran it, when it was Punk's show, when he had his own roster on there. That's funny. Rampage is just fast. It's just a fast-paced, hour-long thing of wrestling. So again, I'll end it with this. It's like they have a few victories. They're not completely. It's not unwatchable. Not yet. But the ratings, people aren't watching, man. And you would think like this will be a wake-up call, but I think because of where they are with the Max deal, with the HBO Max deal, it's like that's not going to happen. They're never going to be in trouble because the safety net of who Tony Khan is will always be there to catch his ass. He's never going to actually be in trouble because, again, of who his family is and how much money he actually has. So even if like the deal falls through and they don't get renewed again, it's like, or even if Zaslav does his little shtick and just like pulls the rug out from under him, because he's been known to do that with a bunch of fucking shit. Just look at Cartoon Network's lineup. Just look at any cartoon on HBO Max. I'm telling you, he's known for that. But yeah, him and Zaslav are cool, according to Tony. So it's like, that probably won't happen. But I always think about that. It's just like, what if they fucking pull the rug from under him? But I'm like, oh, that safety net, he'll always be safe. So, yeah. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. And AEW, I do have a bunch of positives, but also just a bunch of negatives too. I'm not completely like heartless when it comes to this product because I watch it every Wednesday. If I did not care, I wouldn't have made this video. I did this because I fucking care. And I still do want them to succeed, regardless of like, yeah, for the sickos and all that, and these dream matches and shit. I want to see this shit succeed. I do want them to reclaim their former glory. And again, there are bright spots in the darkness, but it is what it is. I will leave y'all with that. RexBebop signing out. Peace. Sees you when I sees you. Y'all be safe out there.